So how do you shorten a skirt that has some interesting detail on the bottom? You can take it from the top. I'll show you how. Coming up. Hey, it's Chanel here, bringing you weekly videos to help you get better and better with your fashion sewing. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. I've had this skirt in my closet for a long time. It's actually, I looked at it, it's a size 8, which means nothing anymore because the retailers have messed us all up. So who knows what size it really is. It's an INC, which is one of my favorite brands. And so I was a size 8 when I moved here. Oh my God, I just thought about that. What happened? Anyway, let's see. But then again, sizes don't matter, right? So I don't know. What's a 10 maybe? I don't know. Where was I? So I want to shorten this thing. It's been in my recycle bin for a while, and I love this hem right here. I love a cheetah print, right? Is that a cheetah? And it's flowy and soft. Definitely doesn't fit anymore. But there's no darts in it or anything. It's all on the bias. It's also flatted with or is it? Oh, this one's separate. Flatted is when the two fabrics are actually just sewn together, then sewn together, if that makes any sense. And I thought it's flatted together because there's an invisible zipper on the side, and it's really easily put in there. I just was trying to pick at it a little bit to see if I could get it out really easy, and yeah, I actually just gotta pop it out right here. But the rest of this is actually separate. Yeah, so it's separate. So how I'm gonna do this, I don't even have to touch the bottom. This is actually gonna be really simple. I'm gonna, I marked it, I kind of had to just hold it up to my waist where I'm gonna wear it. And I'm gonna use the rollover elastic, or the fold over, so I don't have to even have a seam allowance on it. So I just held it up there, and then I always like everything right about where my knee is at. And I'm gonna guess 4 inches. So what I did was I marked 4 inches here, all the way down, and really connected them. And then I'm going to have to pin, just really pin all of this here, and then go and baste right on top of that line. Yeah, actually that's gonna be my cutting line. So I think I'll baste just a 1/4 inch down from there, and make sure it's all even. And I'm gonna cut it. So I'll show you how to do that. First I'll pin it, and sew it, cut it, and then put the elastic on it, and then I'll wear it. First I have to dig the zipper out, which is kind of in here. Once you get them started, you can actually tear it. Ta-da! And I don't even have to go all the way out. I just have to get this seam part, because I'm going to sew it or cut it 4 inches down. And that's how it was really well made in there. Wow. Sometimes you don't get that luxury, but now I'm going to just sew it right back together where that zipper was, because this on the bias is just going to stretch right over my hips and fit. At least I think it's going to. I'm going to take it and sew it right in there, and then I can continue. All right, have the zipper opening stitch closed. That was simple. And I'm actually going to dig this out of all of here and save the zipper, because that's one of those really nice nylon invisible zippers, and a good color too. So my next step is I have this already marked. Looks like it's a little off. When you're working with bias, it really floats around, but gotta do the best you can. And then I'm gonna really flat this out here, and I'm gonna pin in the direction I'm gonna be sewing. So I always want my fabric out to the left, get both layers, and I'm just gonna try to put a lot of pins on this mark, because on the bias it wants to move when you're on the sewing machine. So you really got to get it controlled. So I'll pin all this, and then I'll take this to the sewing machine and sew just right on that line, or just kind of a little bit past that line, or about a 1/4 of an inch or so. I also have to make sure my side seams are exactly matched up. I'll finish pinning this. I'll take it to the sewing machine. All right, have it sewn. I have it inside out so I can see the line a lot better. The front looks really great. The back does not. My line is going crooked. So I have to figure out what happened. I'm just going to measure. So it's about at 4 3/8 in the 4 1/4 zone. So I'm just going to put some more chalk marks here. I was working with this before. I'm just trying to get it evened out. So I'm just going to stitch right here, just re-stitch it, get it even. Like that one's all good. I just got a little wonky there. Bias is really hard to control. Then it drops down a little bit there, a little bit. Not to get nuts with it, but if it is off, it will look really funny. And then the side here is actually pretty off. Oh no, actually it goes right there. Okay, so then I'm going to blend it right back into that seam, it looks like. I'm just going to take it from here and sew it there, and then I'll cut it. Okay, I have my new line out here. I'm not going to dissolve those chalk marks because I want to know which one it was. So now I have to cut it. This is where the rubber meets the road, as they say. Whoever says that. What does that mean? Anyway, so now I got to cut it, make sure I don't get anything caught. I'm just gonna do it. Ah, yeah. The first cut always hurts the worst. And then I'm going to put on the sleeve board and just cut close to that stitch. Right there. Make sure nothing gets caught, because the bias, it really wants to roll up. And then you end up with a hole in your skirt if you don't pay attention. I'm just going to do a little 1/8 of an eighth. What's that about? It's about a 1/4 of an inch, I guess. Because the elastic will just roll over it. Make sure this is all smooth. Just take your time. Cut it. Okay, I'll finish this up. I'll show you how to put the elastic on. Okay, I'll cut that cut out, turn it inside out. Now, much bigger skirt. All that bias just stretched out. I'm sure it's going to fit me now. And now all I have to do is put the fold over elastic on it. All right, almost done with this. The elastic, I like to use this fold over 1 inch fold over elastic. Just grips over. This is the Dritz brand. By far better than that skinny stuff you find on Amazon. The ones they use for hair ties in all different colors. They're great, but they don't really hold up your skirts, and they're just kind of not, they break down really easy. So get the Dritz, and it folds over. It comes in black and white, and the white you can dye the colors, although I'm a little afraid the dye might eat up the elastic in there a lot, so it does change the texture a little bit, but sometimes I like to do that, dye it a certain color. Anyway, I have a video out on how to use this fold over elastic, because I use this on all my skirts. As I've gotten wider over the years, my waist has gotten rectangle. This is just the perfect waistband. I've just been doing all my skirts with it. It's comfortable, it's easy, and just whenever you're done with sewing stuff, you just pop this on and your project's like done. So I'll walk you through it real quick. But what we do is you put it around your waist, and to get a little bit stretchy, so you don't want to just lay it on your waist. You want to have a little bit of the stretch there. I sew a seam in the back. This is going to be the center back seam, so I just put right sides together. You can tell the right side from the wrong side. And then I fold it in half and find the half right here, and then you find the quarters right here. Now, sometimes our fronts and our backs are not all equal in a skirt, but this kind of works. Just works with straight skirts. Then I find the quarters right there, and I mark the chalk, a good mark. And then I do the same to the skirt. Don't have to mark the halves or the sides because I have seam allowances, but fold it in half, find the quarter, the center front and the center back there. And then the center back, have to find which one I want to be the center back, because this is the same skirt. I think I want this one. I'm looking at the print thinking, which one do I want on my butt? You know, it's important. I found this pair of pants I had in my closet that I never looked at it, but I was checking them out to upcycle them, and they have this funny line going up the back crotch seam, like the two stripes meet, and it just looks really funny, and I'm like, now I can never wear them again. I'm like, oh my gosh. Trying to think of a way to fix them, like if I can add a panel or do something interesting. But so you're going to start on the center back, but I actually did this wrong, so I actually want to start with the elastic going in this way, and then I'm going to start, just grip it over like that. It's sort of like bias tape. You just fold it over right here, and then I'm going to take this next quarter line here, and then it's going to match up to the side seam right here, and I'm going to put a pin there like that, and I'm just going to put pins on all the quarters right there, and then when I sew, I'm going to go shoop, like that, and it's going to tuck right in like that, and I'm going to zigzag it. So I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to start at the center back. I have my pins and quarters all quartered out. Start right here. I'm going to put this on the zigzag stitch. This isn't looking so good here. Sometimes I'll trim that little chunk right there, but I didn't do that this time. Get it started right there. I'm going to put this on my zigzag stitch. And I'm going to do a longer stitch and a wider stitch. I got mine at 6 so that it makes it wider. And I'm going to shoot to be stitching right about here or a little bit past. Just get it started. Sometimes it's hard just to get it started. Just get it started right on that seam. And I love this machine because the needle always ends up down. And I'm just going to pull as I'm sewing, and I'm going to make sure that that edge is right on the fold, right there. I'm going to kind of pull in the back a little bit too, just kind of keep it on. And right now I have it on the, I'm going to make it a longer stitch, around 4. So it goes faster, and I can kind of see it's coming up a little bit, so control it. We go from quarter to quarter. That way you get the elastic evenly distributed. Open this up, and at every quarter make sure you're on there. And at my next quarter, make sure that's pushed in here. And sometimes, especially with the slippery fabric, I might go 8ths. Push this up in here, and then hold it here, and then sew it. And then I do the other 8th here. Make sure it's in there. Right on there. Pin out, and then continue on. So I think I'm going to last one coming into the home stretch. My last 8th. Get in there. Okay. Reverse. Pick it up. Okay. Here we go. Nice elastic waistband. Now I gotta try it on. Well,
that was easy.
Wow, it was so easy. If I weren't even doing a video on this, I would have had this done in 15 minutes. Just mark it, chop it, put some elastic on it. Ta-da! This skirt turned out so great. What I'm a little upset about is it's been sitting around for years, and I never found 15-20 minutes to chop it off and make it fit. Really? my gosh. So, but this looks so great. This one's my dress form's about a size 6, so it doesn't quite fit that one, but wow, comfortable, perfect length. Look at, didn't have to touch this hem, which would have been a nightmare because it's that little tiny rollover hem. And then I would have had to do the lining. That would have been a good 1 to 2 hour job, right? Versus that one. Now I don't have that side zipper in there, and this only works if your body's a little on the square side. But if you go a little bit with the elastic, it's okay. But you don't want to go a lot, because some people are like 10-inch difference, and then it would be a lot of elastic. Then it doesn't look so good. So if you're just kind of a little rectangle, do that. But make sure you get some of this in stock, some of the Dritz fold over elastic. I'll leave a link below. And a lot of times it's cheaper on Amazon than it is in the fabric store. And if you live in my town, they never have the black in there because my students always go nab it, because I tell everybody about this stuff. So I'll leave a link below, and it'll take you right over to the Amazon link, and you can get a couple of them, keep them in stock, because once you start using it, you're going to love it. So get in your closet, see what kind of skirts are in there, or even pants. You can shorten pants too. Sometimes they're a little too long. You got to watch the crotch part on there, but yeah. Get some new clothes going. They're in your closet. You just didn't know it. I'll see you in the next sew bit.